obligatory pumpkin soap. This is not your typical pumpkin soap. I mean, maybe it is, who even knows. But my oils are orange because I'm using a mixture of Buriti seed oil and pumpkin seed oil. The pumpkin seed oil is a nice like deep brown, and the Buriti seed looks orange but then has a nice yellow color once you're soaping with it. I was using my stick blender before adding my lye to also mix in some colloidal oats. The fragrance is called Chestnut, Pumpkin, and Oatmeal from Wholesale Supplies Plus. It was another one that was, new and on sale. And I like this pumpkin fragrance. It really just kind of smells like cake. Not your typical pumpkin spice necessarily, and also not your I don't know, it's kind of unique. It smells just sweet to me. There it is. There's a lot of vanilla in here though, and it accelerates. So I went ahead and poured some separate cups, one orange and one uncolored. I'm just hand stirring in my fragrance, and I'm also going to be adding some soap shreds because I wanted like an ivory soap shred inside of the soap that's going to end up turning like a brownish color. Just stirring in the orange into that one. That stays nice and fluid because I didn't add the fragrance to it. And this over here, thickening. You can see it's already getting thick, I only shredded up maybe 4 ounces of soap that I mixed into this, and I shredded it little, so it's like so bulky even though the weight is low. Oh man, yeah, this is when the soap was like, oh, guess what, we're thick, we're real thick, we're getting dummy thick out here. I didn't want any shreds to not have soap mixed into it, so I really had to mix it a lot. Probably use a little bit less shreds next time. I don't really add shreds to my soap ever. But this shit gets thick. Oh yeah. It reminds me a lot of, the texture reminds me of actual pureed pumpkin, like a fresh pumpkin puree or any kind of squash. So now it's like, okay, time to squish it into my mold. I made a mess a little bit. I knew I was going to have to like really push it in there. And that's fine. I mean, that's why I didn't plan any like fanciness really, other than just plain soap, uncolored with shreds in it. Even the shreds made it a little more difficult. I would have been able to pour it had I not added the shreds and needed to like stir and stir and stir to get them in there. But that's okay. Not too worried about it. Really squishing it in there as best as I can, making a mess. I soap at room temperature. If you've watched my videos before, you probably already know that. I just like to soap at room temperature. I'm not one to necessarily pop my soaps. I've oven processed plenty of times just to say that I've done it and to like get experience with it. And sometimes I want to like cut right away, or I want to see if the colors turn out different, whatever. I've done it before, but it's not my preferred method. So I like to soap at room temperature and just let it sit. So the oils and the lye were 75 degrees maybe. This soap got hot. It got real hot, and it definitely gelled, which accelerated the discoloration, which you'll see later on. But I'm really just trying to squish it in there as best as I can. It's in there as good as it's going to get. Squish, squish, squish. Trying to just clean it up. And then I'm like, okay, let's pour the other soap. You can see no fragrance. It's still very liquid. Getting that last bit of orange out. I didn't stir it in very good. As you can see that there's a lot more mica dribbles that came from the bottom of that cup. That's okay. I'm not mad at mica dribbles. And there's my uncolored soap base, which is still that nice kind of pumpkin-y color because of the pumpkin seed oil and the Buriti seed oil. I had the Buriti seed oil left over from a private label project, and I'm not ever gonna need that again, so I was like, well, let's use this up. I don't know if this Buriti seed oil is going to stay the right color or not. It seems like I've noticed some fading with it after a while, and I don't know if that's what it's supposed to do or if it means it's not authentic Buriti seed oil. I have no way of knowing. I I can't track that information down. So we'll see if in a few weeks of this soap curing, if that beautiful golden yellow that I have is gonna just turn back white. We'll see. I don't know. I'm okay with it if it does, but I don't know. We'll find out. Now I let this sit for a little while. I wanted to do a design on top and some cinnamon stick decoration, and I wanted the top part to be at least a little bit thicker for that, so I let it sit for maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. I wasn't really paying attention, I just walked away. A little bit of gold drizzle for the top. The gold ended up, you couldn't really see it. I should have done something else with the gold, but whatever. I'm just using one of my Sorcery soap tools and just kind of dragging across the top. Just whatever with it. A little texture. Hitting the other side just a little bit. And I've never put, I see people will do cool stuff with like dried orange slices or cinnamon sticks or any kind of like, I don't know, food ingredients. I don't know what else to call it. I never stick stuff like that in the top of my soap. And I realized I had these cinnamon sticks and I don't do anything with them. I had them just with my spices in my kitchen. I'm like, screw it, let's put some cinnamon sticks in this soap. Why not? There are really not any cinnamon notes to this fragrance, but it looks cute. It goes with the, you know, fall type theme, so fuck it, why not? I ended up putting them pretty close together. So because this is a tall soap, I never do this much volume in my tall and skinny mold. Typically, because I added the soap shreds, it was taller than normal. I ended up getting 10 bars out of it, which is, I usually get 8 or 9, depending on how thick I do. So these are going to be thinner, but they're going to be taller. And, ooh, you can see, look at that discoloration already. I did have some air bubbles. I was able to squish a little bit of soap into some of the air pockets, but the corners were really just kind of messed up, and I thought, truly, I just kind of thought, whatever. Whatever. Not a big deal. These soaps are really just for personal use, for friends and family, and sometimes my plumber and his family buy a ton of my soap. So, I don't know, hopefully he doesn't care. I don't think he will. These all look basically the same inside, but you're gonna get a look at every one anyway. A couple of them got close to that cinnamon stick. I tried to get it as centered as possible, but what are you gonna do? Curious to see how much more it discolors as well. You can see a little bit of the difference from the edges to the center. I'm hoping it discolors a bit more, but I'm really not sure. Because they were new fragrances, there weren't any reviews yet, and all it said was it discolors. I really love that Wholesale Supplies Plus does test all of their fragrances, and they give you like the complete rundown. But they didn't have a picture of the soap they made, so you didn't get to see the final color. And that's fine, because I used an odd colored soap batter to begin with. This smells really nice, though. There's nothing... It's just a nice, calm, sweet scent. It's not too pumpkin-y. It's really not spicy at all. It's really more just sweet. A little bit of the nuttiness from the chestnut, and the oatmeal makes it just smell kind of warm and homey. And with all that pumpkin seed oil, it should be a nice bar. I don't typically... Oh, I had a little bump. Cutting it with the cinnamon stick. Oopsie. I don't usually use the pumpkin seed oil in soap, though, because it is such a dark brown. It's unrefined, which I love about it. But it was cool to have an excuse to use it today. Ta-da! There it is. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you thought of this video.